So I'm going to tell a story about the most Hamilton thing that I've ever done that relates. And that was in 2008. CBC Radio had this Saturday morning program, radio show called Go with Brent Banbury. And it was a kind of quasi game show, information show, really kind of humor-based current affairs, pop culture show that happened every Saturday morning. And they did a lot of live programming around Canada, and they decided to come to Hamilton. Anyway, I managed to sort of convince them that yes, I was much bigger than I actually was as a musician, and worth putting on the radio. And they came down to the Pearl Company on King William and to broadcast their show. And the deal is that they gave you this sort of musical assignment. And mine was, they wanted to write a song that was based on the 1994 scuba diving incident that centered around Sheila Copps. She donned a wetsuit, I think in 1994, and jumped into the Hamilton Harbor to try and dispel myths of how polluted our lake was. And even though it was kind of a weird, contrived photo op, even though if you really believed, that the water was clean, you might go in without a wetsuit on. So I wrote this song that was like kind of dirty. I was also very intrigued with what I could get away with on public radio, how far I could push it, like how cheeky could I be before I got censored.
Well, Sheila wakes up at dawn. She spits on the ground, puts the coffee on, has a pound of bacon and a dozen eggs. She puffs on a smoke while she shaves her legs. She said it seems like a good day, the kind of day you don't want to fritter away. Stuck inside the office like a workaholic, I think I'll go downtown and do something symbolic. So she takes a little walk in her vicinity, past the green fields and the zones of industry, the surplus store and the street youth ministry, the auto body shop where she lost her virginity.
So I did it. Went over really well, better than I ever could have hoped. It ended up launching into this relationship with CBC, where I would get called back to write more songs because I think they liked what I was doing. So I think I made about half a dozen appearances over a couple of years on that radio show. And but the wild thing is that one of the shows that they did in Toronto was called The Awkward Show, and they decided to bring Sheila Copps on. They sort of pumped up the notoriety of this song. They sort of got her to play along and pretend on air like she was completely pissed off at me. And we cooked this moment on the radio where I had to be there. I had to be kind of surprised by Sheila Copps, who just happened to be in the building while I was on air talking about something else. And then she came in and she was fuming. And then she just like tears a strip off me. And then I reconcile the whole thing on air by writing this song called Funky Disclaimer, which, kind of came clean about all the lies that I had spun in the original. What was fascinating about that, though, was the radio show was legitimately the most awkward thing I've ever done because of the sheer terror of being publicly shamed and having a strip taken out of you by a former deputy prime minister of the country. Nothing can prepare you for it. It really just levels you in this most remarkable way. So the other thing is that Sheila at that time was living in Ottawa, and then she had a house in Hamilton, but she didn't have a ride to and from Toronto. So we had to. I had to be her chauffeur, which is great, right? And but that was terrifying too, because it's Saturday morning. We're going to go to this radio show where she's going to publicly berate me and pretend that she hates me on air, and I have to pick her up. I have to pick her up from her mom's house, and like her mom answers the door in a nightgown, and it feels like a first date, and it's strange, and I'm nervous. I'm so nervous about driving the deputy prime minister, because it's like, if ever I'm going to get in an accident in my car, it's going to be then. But she turns out to be awesome, and I drive her home. And as we're driving home, she's saying, "Do you mind if you take me grocery shopping?" And I'm saying, "Okay." I can't say, you can't say no to the former deputy prime minister and somebody who is as mythic as Sheila Copps. If Sheila Copps wants you to take her grocery shopping, you take her grocery shopping. It's the most surreal day I've ever had, where you meet Sheila Copps' mom in a nightgown, you drive her to Toronto, you spend 2 hours being publicly shamed by her on the radio, then you sing a duet with her on the radio, then you drive her home and go to an Italian cheese shop to purchase groceries for her. I couldn't have asked for anything better than that experience, and it really felt like I am in the belly of Hamilton culture. This is as absurd and beautiful a thing as one could ever hope to be part of. And what a great way to spend a Saturday.